So these are all wines around $13 or less.
Yeah.
So we got 13.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do 5, 4, and 4.
5, 4, and 4.
Why not 5, 5, 5?
Because we have only...
13.
Are you ready?
I am. Ready, willing, and able. Thirsty too.
That's good news. Hi Waffles! Last week we tasted 10 cheap wines and we picked 2 winners.
2
Right.
winners, correct.
2 weenies.
What are you looking for?
You stole my pen.
No, this is this is mine.
Can I borrow a pen, please?
Of course. And I just said 10 cheap wines, but some people doesn't like to say cheap.
Cheap also has a negative connotation. So I always prefer to say lower price wines.
I would say value-priced wines.
But I love to say cheap because it is so alive.
It's fun.
In the beginning of the last week's tasting, Patrick suggested to challenge those 2 winners, right?
Exactly. We should do a follow-up where we take whatever ones that we thought were the best here, and then Peter and I will come up with some wines to challenge them.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting. So that's what we do today?
I think also the last week, my summation of the tasting was there was a lot of pandering there to a perception of beginner's tastes, and that there was no real need to make authentic wine, just tasty wine. But you can buy really authentic wine that has terroir for those kind of price points. See if we can do better today.
Yeah,
And I also challenge with Peter and Patrick because we don't know what they are.
exactly.
Well, I know what I brought. Patrick knows what he brought. You know what you brought.
Yes.
But between us, we don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And a third person mixed them and...
Actually, that makes it more difficult, not easier. In the world, or the universe of wines, where it could be anything, you approach each wine the same way. When it's a tasting like this, you're looking for your own wines. It makes it more difficult.
It does.
All right, you all love difficult things. Am I right?
May I make a suggestion about format?
All right.
Since these wines are not themed, it's a mixed bag, there's a tendency for one's palate to get a little tired tasting through. Why don't we just do one wine at a time? Taste it, talk about it. This way, they're talking about it, gives your palate a time to recover, and you'll be starting with a fresh palate every wine.
I prefer not to do that. When I get the bit between my teeth, I want to go through and taste 5 wines. I want to compare them to each other.
You two are such good friends, but so different.
We try your fucked up system.
Let's do it.
Whenever you are not satisfied, our viewers get satisfied.
Garnet Red has got some brick change at the rim, so there's a little bit of age on it. Some berry fruit, spicy berry, there's some black pepper. I thought the palate was better than the nose, fairly well structured, the length was pretty good. I thought it was an old world wine. The southern part of the old world, warm climate. I thought it was a Côte d'Aron.
So I'm with you. And then my conclusion at the end was minerally.
Yeah.
I look for that minerally character on more expensive wines. It was authentic and real. I said Rhone varieties. What do you think?
I also think it's Grenache from Rhone, southern part of France. The nose was very closed, but the mouth was wonderful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
This is my first wine and I already love it.
Well, that's good. It's a good start. Should we see what it is?
Don't pull out the wrong one.
Right, I own number 1.
Celsius,
Côte d'Aron
2016.
and Vieille Vigne.
Old vines.
Grenache 85%, Syrah 15%. Wow, the vines are really old. 80 years old.
By definition, an old vine is a vine that's older than me. So that,
And the price.
$9.90.
Oh, it's
5.
amazing. It's amazing.
My God.
See how much we're teaching you, Jay? Jay, what's your name?
Oh, Shay.
Mr. O'Shea is an Irishman. He's a good Irishman.
Patrick idea the challenge, but we knew immediately we could do better, is the point.
I love the wine.
I like it a lot. What's nice about that is that you could have that with a whole range of foods at $10. Does not hurt you at all in the wallet.
The color is very dark, deep purple, and I smell full of blackberries, blackcurrant, and plum. It's a little bit green, but nicely green. It's full-bodied, heavy, but very nice tannin. I like it.
So this is California, either with people that know what they're doing, or just trying hard not to make caricature wines. It was slightly sweeter, but not sweet like all the other models have been. So I like the wine.
What variety?
Petit Syrah.
Though for me, it's a bit baked. It's a rich wine. I like the palate much better than I did the nose.
It's the dark Cosentino, Lodi. It's Petit Syrah and Petit Verdot. It's a bloody good job, isn't it?
Yeah.
$12.99.
But that's Mitch Cosentino making the wine, not these other fuckers.
What I liked about it is that they didn't beat the living shit out of it with oak.
Exactly. This is a really good example of how to take those wines that we had the other day and make better wine.
Yeah.
Almost opaque, sort of ruby garnet, quite heavy extract. It's quiet, but it's not a shrinking violet. It's got a hint of herbaceousness to it. It's fresh and balanced on the palate, very dry. There's some oak there, but not much.
Some strawberry characteristic. Easy to drink wine.
Extremely well done.
Extremely well done.
Yeah.
It's very mineral.
Triumph, very mineral.
Very
That's
minerally.
what happens when you actually make regional wine. When you make terroir wine, you're not beating it into shape with mega red and mega purple and oak essences and all the rest of it. You believe in your fruit. Might be humble fruit, but you believe in your fruit.
I'm a little bit worried that people might think it's a little bit empty in the mouth.
This one,
Yeah.
a little bit thin.
Yeah, a little bit thin.
I will agree, but I didn't find it to be lacking stuffing. And you've just had this one.
Right. In comparison to the previous wine, it would have tasted especially thin if we had it immediately, if we hadn't knew.
Yes, to make it. Someone kick his ass. Okay? Someone kick his ass.
The bottle is pretty heavy. This is the wine that I prepared. Barbera di Italy.
Good wine.
Barbera del Monferrato.
How much did it cost?
$12.99.
It's a nice wine.
Yeah.
Very nice one.
Yeah.
Medium plus garnet, some clearing at the rim, toasty oak, some coconut. I thought there was some American oak. I got some cherry notes, some chocolate. It's alcoholic, more and more tannic with each taste.
So much chocolate on the wine.
I also felt a lot of chocolate, a lot of diacetyl. Number 4. H3 from Washington State.
Horse Heaven's Hills. I liked it a lot.
And we do the last wine.
Deep ruby garnet. This one,
It's my turn.
really?
Yeah, my turn, sir.
We give you a turn as well now?
Yeah, sometimes. Today is that special day.
Okay, all right, then we'll get it while the getting's good.
All right, thank you. So excited. Even difficult to hold the glass. It's very dark purple. I see a little bit of age on it. And it's very pruny on the nose. And I also smell a ripe fig. Extracted. It's aged and palate. Shows good balance.
I agree with all the things you said. There is some oak both on nose and palate. I like the feel in the mouth is quite smooth, but then I found it a little short. My conclusion was that it was real wine, a bit high in alcohol, although it had balancing acidity.
I agree that this wine's got age on it. And I started doing dance, just as both of you did. Warm climate, I think it was Grenache and Cabernet Sauvignon.
Number 5. Perafita from Spain. Empurda.
2008, 47 Cabernet, 36 Grenache.
So this is a closeout wine, just under $10. I wanted to include that there can be value for the consumer, but risk as well, buying closeout wines. And the wine shop said that this should be $35 bottle of wine, but it was $9.95. Buy it at your own risk.
And what is closeout wine?
Wines can be closed out for a number of reasons. Frequently, wine gets a mediocre score and sits in a warehouse, or for whatever reason, they decided to buy that wine, but they're not particularly good at selling that type of wine. And then all of a sudden they say, oh shit, let's pop a bottle of that open. We haven't sold any of that in a while. And they say, this is pretty good stuff. So they bring it to a wine shop and said, hey, we've got 10 cases of it, we've got 20 cases. Do you want to take it all? Peter tell you his example of one vintage to another.
In retail here in the US, obviously the vintages keep coming, approximately one a year. You get the next vintage in and you still haven't sold through the previous vintage. The retailers know, what about the new vintage? No, but this is really excellent. But they punish you. They tell, no, you're stuck with this. And so they make you a low offer. And you've got the wine, you don't want to get 2 vintages behind, so you sell the wine at a lower price. So effectively what does closeout mean? You want to get rid of something and you're prepared to drop the price.
The reason I thought there was Cabernet Sauvignon in it is that it has some cedar, and cedar for me is older Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, so now we're going to do another
All right.
That was a reasonably pleasant flight of wines.
It took us long enough to do it. I think that's the other thing, doing it your way. It will take a long time. You've had your way now let's do it the other way.
We need a little bit of coherence for a day. One rule a day, please.
Should I hang it over my
Your story never escapes.
이럴 땐 이 와인 네이버 밴드로 놀러 오시면 와인을 잘 몰라도 편하고 싸게 사실 수 있도록 제가 많이 도와드립니다. 다들 만족하시고 좋아하시더라고요.